So we have some shocking news about Sonic Frontiers today. If you're watching this video, if you clicked on it, it's because you saw in the title and the thumbnail that the Spin Dash has been confirmed to be coming to one of the future DLC updates for Frontiers. I'm very excited to talk about this. You guys know that I love the Spin Dash. I did a full-blown video essay on the history of this move. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do in Sonic, but not all Spin Dashes were created equally, as you know. So in today's video, we're going to discuss the brand new news that all but confirms the Spin Dash is coming. We're going to talk about how it might play and what my predictions are for how it's going to play out, and we may have a hint about what the control scheme concept is going to be. So before we do that, guys, please subscribe to the channel right now. We'll give you a second to do that. Did you subscribe yet? Okay, hopefully you subscribed and turn on notifications, because this is the #1 place to be for all things Sonic. No matter what it is, go through some of my backlog of content, and there's going to be something that you are going to enjoy if you like the Sonic franchise. So with that being said, let's get into the news. So for those of you who don't know what the Spin Dash is, obviously if you're a Sonic fan, you know what it is, but if you're brand new, I'll catch you guys up to speed real quick. You guys know what it is. So basically the Spin Dash is when Sonic tucks down, curls into a ball, and unnaturally gains momentum. It's something that was introduced in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. You guys see it right here, how it works, how it functions. This has been a staple of the Sonic franchise and a staple of his moveset just up until they moved away from the adventure and classic formula and they started going with the boosting gameplay, starting with Sonic Unleashed. We saw a little bit of this in Sonic Generations. You see classic Sonic right here had the super OP Spin Dash, and this was actually one of the redeeming qualities of the 2D classic Sonic gameplay. The Spin Dash has had many iterations throughout the years. There's been many different ways to implement it, many ways that it functions. You see in Lost World right here how it functions, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but you guys get the gist. The Spin Dash is one of my favorite moves of all time. It's one of the most iconic Sonic moves ever. So let's discuss the actual news. We'll talk about it, and then we'll get into my predictions as to how I think that it's going to function in the game. So if you guys look right here, here is a tweet from Fax Frontier, delivering what I think is going to be the best news of Sonic Frontiers history, because like I said, I love the Spin Dash. I'm an adventure fanboy. I'm a classic fanboy. Boosting, you know, whatever. It's okay. I like all Sonic games, but this is the biggest news ever. Hopefully, we'll get into that later about like what my thoughts are about this, but here's the tweet. It says, the latest update for Sonic Frontiers contains new tip text for a Spin Dash mechanic, as well as an alternate method of activating the drop dash. They have a bunch of code right here if you guys look. I mean, honestly, I'm not a coder. I can't read any of this stuff, but the gist of it says button right WH means the rightmost face button, aka crouch, is going to be something to do with the Spin Dash or something like that. I'm not really 100% sure, but if you look right here, someone replied to this tweet from Fax Frontiers and took a picture of what someone replied to Mario Kishimoto, who, as you guys know, is the director of Sonic Frontiers. He's been going on Twitter and just like talking to the fans, sometimes saying too much, right? Like, yo, this guy's going on here. I feel like Sega has to be like, yo, like, this guy has to chill. He did kind of chill, actually, after, like, you know, giving a lot of information about the future of the Sonic franchise, development details and stuff like that. It's nice to see that Sega is on the timeline, interacting with the fans, and they want to hear what we have to say, because fan feedback is good, although Sega should still execute their vision. But now that Frontiers is out, we kind of have an idea as to what worked, what didn't work, and Sega probably knows that as well. So this tweet right here was a concept for how the Spin Dash is going to work, and it seems like based off of the controls of Sonic Frontiers, because there's so many different buttons, there's so many different maneuvers and combat buttons mapped to certain things, that it's tough to implement all these moves. You think of like the drop dash where you have to triple tap A and stuff like that. You think of stuff like that, and it's like, all right, how could they make the Spin Dash work? Well, here's a good concept, and I think this is probably how it's going to work. So this concept right here has Sonic pressing the B button, which will make him crouch. If you press B and hold it and mash RT, you will do a Spin Dash. So very simple, and it seems like there is room with the control scheme and room on the moveset for this to actually work. So this concept is most likely, if it comes to the game, this is probably what it's going to be, because when you press B, Sonic does crouch. So it only makes sense that this is what it's going to do. There's some concerns I have with the Spin Dash coming back to the game, because there's a tweet that says that the Spin Dash is going to be mapped to the boost meter, which kind of raises some concerns. So at first, you know, I mean, obviously, are we going to get the infinite Spin Dash from SA1? Probably not, I would say. In Sonic Adventure 1, this is my opinion, the best version of the Spin Dash. If you guys look right here, this is my gameplay. I'm just spamming the Spin Dash button, as you guys see, and that made it really fun, really challenging, and just really opened up the gameplay and level design for things that you didn't even think were possible, or playing the game the way Sega really didn't intend for it to be played. That was my perfect idea of the Spin Dash. I think a better compromise would probably be like SA2 Spin Dash. It's a little less overpowered, but still has a similar function. It still feels good to control and use. But how exactly will this Spin Dash function in Sonic Frontiers? Well, there's a couple different ways that we can go about doing this. You have the SA1 Spin Dash, you have the SA2 Spin Dash. I think it will function somewhat similar to the Sonic Lost World Spin Dash. This tweet right here has a little bit more information from Sonic and all characters. It says Spin Dash might be coming to Frontiers. The first update brought new files in the game, including this Spin Dash animation, a message hinting on how to use it, utilizes the boost gauge image below Spin Dash file. So if you guys look, this is what the Spin Dash is going to look like based off of the animations that are already in Sonic Frontiers. So it looks like he's charging up a nice little Spin Dash. I'm not really sure how it's going to function. If you look at Sonic Speed Simulator, this might be a blueprint for how it could work, because in SSS, you can boost in this game, but you can also use the Spin Dash, and they're both mapped to your boosting energy, which is kind of annoying. Honestly, I think it's ineffective, and I think it doesn't work. It kind of negates the purpose of using the Spin Dash. There's also like a little fake drop dash in the game as well, as you guys saw right there. So maybe that is a way that how it could function in Frontiers, but I think with Frontiers, they want our feedback and they want it to be like actually fun. I'm hoping that that's what they actually go with, you know what I'm saying? Make it fun. It doesn't have to be the most useful meta speedrunning tactic, but as long as it's like fun to use, I'm cool with that. Like in Frontiers, you think of the drop dash, it's just like fun to use, you know what I mean? It's a fun ability. Obviously, it could be a little bit more useful, but it's still like interesting, and I just like using it. It's got momentum. Hopefully the Spin Dash that they add in Frontiers will have momentum. Hopefully it'll be useful. Hopefully it'll be fun to use. There's many ways they could take it. I fear that it could be like the Lost World Spin Dash, which is like really not that fun to use, not that interesting, you know what I'm saying? If you look at how the Spin Dash is utilized in this game, like it's there, but it's just really not that fun to use. And you can even use like an infinite spam dash, which was inspired by SA1, and I think there is definitely some Lost World inspiration in Frontiers if you think of like the parkour and kind of like the movement a little bit. But if the Spin Dash operates how it operated in Sonic Lost World, I feel like that's going to be a huge missed opportunity. There are so many Spin Dashes. Like I said before in the video, not all Spin Dashes are created equal, and they really have an opportunity to make this a really good and really useful move. At least add more fun and free-flowing movement to the game, which already has that, so it's not like it needs it, but I think that if they put this into the game and execute it properly, it's going to make it that much better. We just don't want it to function like how you guys see right here, because it's just not good. It really breaks the pace. Like, it's not really that fun to use. You know what I'm saying? The best way the Spin Dash could function, and I think this is possible, it could function like how it does in Sonic Generations for Classic Sonic. Like in this game, the Spin Dash is very fun to use with Classic Sonic. It's very overpowered, and I just feel like it could function like that. Like it could actually be useful. I'm not holding my breath though. I think it's going to be some quasi like Lost World type of thing, but they've been listening to our feedback. They know that the fans actually want momentum. I'm just not really sure how it's going to function. I mean, if it's going to take up the boost meter, I just hope it's going to be useful, because in Sonic Speed Simulator, it kind of shows the core problem with the boost and Spin Dash being in the game. It's not that the two legends cannot coexist. The problem is you got to make them exist. You got to make them work and make both of them actually be useful. You can't negate one over the other. If it uses the boost meter though, it's a very troubling sign in my opinion. We're gonna have, just because I've already seen how this plays out, so I don't know. It's not gonna be SA1 for sure. Like there's no way it's gonna be that, but maybe it could be something similar to the Sonic Generation Spin Dash with Classic Sonic, which is just like a really fast burst of speed. They gotta make it useful. They gotta make it fun to use. I'm excited to see how it gets implemented, because it could be game changing and could really make the movement in this game, which is already fun in the open world, more fluid. So guys, let me know what you guys think about it. How do you predict the Spin Dash is gonna be? Is it gonna be like SA1, Sonic Generations? Is it gonna be like SA2? Is it gonna be like a different Sonic game like 06? Is it gonna be like Lost World? Like, what do you think the Spin Dash is gonna be like? How is it gonna function? Is it gonna be completely different? Let me know down below in the comments. I got nothing else to say to you guys until I see you next time. Peace out.